I've been trying to make this video for 6 weeks, maybe longer. And the reason is, I was trying to finish my sewing space and office. Now, I don't know if you've been following along, but I was renovating this space. It was bare bones, and I basically had to put floors down and everything else. But it's finally finished, and I really, really love it. So, because it's finished, I started sewing again. And the first thing I've made is this shirt. So there's this couple that's really whimsical and too cute for words, and they're getting married soon, and they want like a Lord of the Rings theme. So they asked me to make a shirt for the husband-to-be, and I got the fabric, and this is what I ended up making. I wanted a little collar, mandarin collar, and then I put some pleats in the back because he works out and there's a lot of muscles, and for muscles you need the back to be able to pull properly. And they are so happy with it. I'm also happy with it because I think after not sewing for so long, it came out really well. I did go away to sew some things for a friend a few weeks ago. Nee, hoe moet ek werk as jy dit doen? Kom weg. But that was basically the only sewing that really happened in here. What I also worked on was, since I spoke to you last, I showed you some fabrics that I wanted to do for winter. Well, winter has come and gone. It's now spring. And this, I've made a skirt. Actually, I haven't made a skirt. I've started a skirt. And it was that beautiful fabric that almost gives me Chanel vibes. So the fabric needed lining. And when I put the two together, the fabric was like hanging. So I ended up tucking the lining to the fabric. And I'm just going to leave it like that. And I did do some binded hems because I want it to have a kind of like a, I would say, tailored feel. And so I was going quite strongly on this process. And then I've tacked everything, did the side seams. And then when I got to the final back piece, I realized I made two right sides instead of a left and a right side. So I had to unpick the binding, unpick all the tacking, change the two around because I basically put the back to the front, and it was just chaos from there. So I'm now at the place where I've got it all together, and I basically need a zip and the back seam and the waistband, but I've lost momentum, and it's spring, so I'm most likely not going to wear that soon. So for that reason, I've just put it on a hanger, but in the next week, I really want to finish it because I'm fed up with things not being done. I also made this. So there's this sweet person that's been part of my life since she was about 7, and she's too cute. And I've been part of all her milestones and stuff. And so she got married a few years ago, and her first baby is on the way. And so the mom-in-law asked me to make her some things. And in amongst her things that she gave me was this cut-out top. And it was not very big. And like you know, after 50, your body changes. So this top would never fit the mom-in-law again. But she loved the fabric. I love it too. It's batik fabric that you can find all over in Africa. And it is just too sweet for words. And then she had this piece of lace. I think she wanted to make a petticoat for herself at one stage. But anyway, I used the top that was cut out already. Cut out this little dress. And then used the lace at the bottom. But the only thing I'm worried about is the neck. It looks really small, but I'm not really an expert with babies. So what I think I'm going to do is just tell them if the neck is too small, because the baby is still getting born in the next few weeks, if the neck is too small when she gets to 18 months, then I will change the neck. Or I'll see on some of the other clothes and then maybe just change it already. But that was such a fun project. And then with setting up my sewing room, which took forever and a day because I had to, like I said, the floors, there was water damage, the roof was leaking. To this point, a part of the cornices up there has still not been painted because I was waiting to see if it's going to leak some more, but it looks like we fixed it. So I still need to finish painting at some spots, but I'll get there. But I love the space, and there will be a tour soon of everything and how I set it up. One thing that's still missing is my dress form. It's a vintage one and she needs help. At this stage, she's in pieces in a box down there. But for the rest, I am so happy with this room. But amongst all the unpacking and sorting, I came across this. So years ago, I made a smock dress out of some gingham t-shirting. Now, t-shirting is a problem, or not a problem, but it is quite an investment to do smocking. And with t-shirting, it doesn't it doesn't stay pretty for that long. You know, you wear it for 2 or 3 seasons and then the fabric hang out and it just looks a bit tacky. So that dress is getting to that point. But in America at Hobby Lobby, I found this on sale, the most beautiful gingham fabric, which was exactly what I was looking for at that stage when I made that dress. I just couldn't find some in South Africa. So I've sat down and I did all the smocking for the sleeves. Both sleeves are done. For the side pockets, because it's got like a pocket that you fold into. There it is. That's done. And the front and the back. So all I need to do is put it all together. Oh, isn't that pretty? I just think, can't wait to wear this dress. It is going to be such a fun dress to wear. I need to put it all together and I haven't done it yet. So I think I need to take this next week and finish these 2 half-done things. Because it's a season of finishing stuff in my life. For too long, things has been unfinished. Speaking of a season of finishing things, I finally finished this jersey. I didn't knit it, but my friend threw it out because the moths got to it. On the ribbon, you can still see some of the moths' holes. So I had it put it on and I was just going to fix the parts that was eaten. But I looked in the mirror and I looked like my friend's mum. So my friend's mum is 94. She is a legend. I think she's gorgeous. But I didn't want to look like a 94-year-old. So what I did is I made it shorter. But let me tell you about my friend's mum first. She's so cool. At 90, she was walking on the beach with her son. She's now 94. She was walking on the beach with her son and suddenly she started sprinting. And he thought that maybe something was chasing them that he didn't see. So he's running after her, finally catches up to her. He's like, "Mom, what's going on?" She's like, "No, darling, I just wanted to see if I could still run." So that's Isabel. And then for her 92nd birthday, she was to say to her daughter said, "What do you want to do for your birthday?" She said, "I would really like to see if I could still cycle." So a friend of ours have a Dutch bicycle and she brought the bicycle down and there's Isabel cycling up the main road and she is just so awesome. So anyway, I would love to be like Isabel when I'm 94, but I'm not 94, I'm in my 50s. So this is my version of granny chic. I just made the jersey shorter and I gave it a hem at the bottom. And I tuck it with just some of the yarn that came from the jersey. And it is so pretty and so useful now. And I'm very happy to have finish it finally. Because you think, oh, you just put in the hem. But you have to catch every stitch. So doing this took me quite a while. But it's done now and I can go and put it in my wardrobe. And I'm really excited. And so that has been all the sewing. I'm going to tag this onto Friday Sews. It's a hashtag started by Jen from Today in Jen's Sewing Room. And when we do Friday Sews, we speak about what we've been doing, what we've been making, sewing, and just a little bit of life. And if you click on that hashtag, you will find a lot of people who also do the same thing. And it's so much fun to get to know new accounts. Speaking about accounts, there's some accounts that I've been watching and that I really, really like. Now, the first one is Diane. I'll put a link to hers below. Diane, she is so special. So go and watch her if you are looking for something to watch. She is so much fun and she's just one of those sweet, kind people that you want to spend time with. Another one is Grace from So Lovely with Grace. She's also a lot of fun. And then, let me just look on my phone quickly. And then there is Zelda from Zelda Sews. So those 3 accounts are the ones I'm binge watching at the moment. If you like this, I would really appreciate if you leave a comment. I would love to know what you are watching and what you are sewing and planning for spring or autumn, depending on where you are. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.
Kijk, kom eens op. Dit is zo.
Dit beteken hy is op die lamp. Hey,
Hoe zit dan op die tafel?
Jyger.
Dat kan vast zijn.
Jy moet jou rok vas.